it's serious business. You come off and you could wring your shirt because that's how hard you work. You pick up on little things and it's just like, it was intriguing. It was only Maka who could see that. I wouldn't have even thought of that. You know all your kids' names, your kids' birthdays. So the little things that mean a lot to you as a person, he'd understand that. It was a time in my career that I believed I was ready. I had 5 years of football by then, gone to 3 cup finals, won 2 of them. I was in the England squad. So I was around a lot of the players that were in the squad, that was in at Liverpool anyway. So I believe that I was ready for that. All of them. Because again, I'd gone from Leicester, and there's no disrespect to Leicester. When you got, but I had Neil Lennon, I had all these players, but with Leicester, because the squad was so small, and we had basically our starting 11, and that was kind of it. We didn't really train. We didn't really push ourselves to the point where we trained the way we play. We had a lot of fun. Whereas when I went to Liverpool, it wasn't. Not that it wasn't fun. It's serious business. You come off and you could wring your shirt because that's how hard you work. Everything was done at match tempo. I remember one of my first trainings. My first training session, Stefan Hencho just comes straight through the back of me. I'm like, what's going on here? We didn't tackle when we was at Leicester, because we didn't really want to get any injuries, but that was like bang, straight through. And I'm like, I quite like this because that's the way I like to. For me, training is dress rehearsal. So if I haven't done it in training, for me, it's like, can I really do it in the game? And that's why I love that sort of training.
What was your favourite trophy to win?
FA Cup. Reason being is that's the one that as a kid you always get to watch on television, and you always see the giant killing, you always see that, and you see the final. It's the most, for me, growing up, that was the most prestigious one. Even though, yeah, you're talking about the UEFA Cup, blah, blah, blah. I thought that one was the most special. I actually loved back-to-back games. You'd play, warm down, a little bit of training, play, warm down, a little bit, and that was your routine. You didn't really, your pre-season had to be spot on because you kind of knew. So your pre-season had to be very, very hard, because that was the fitness level you're going to sustain for the rest of the season, because you're training and you basically won't really train that much. You do lead up to games, which is quite low tempo, because really you're just going through tactical stuff. And then obviously after a game you warm down, what are you really doing? So you really didn't train too hard during the season. And I quite liked that side of it because I just wanted to play the games. Don't get me wrong, I loved the training, but I wanted to play the games. So playing back-to-back games, I never really overthought that. The only time you do think about it is when you have to play the Saturday, Monday. That's tough. That is tough. No, that was tough. Because the reality is that you really don't recover until, I would say, Tuesday night, Wednesday. That's when you really recover after a Saturday game. And everyone knows that, but you still put a game on Monday, which you kind of get through. Your adrenaline gets you through, but you got a lot of knocks after that. Well, it wasn't just that. Well, it wasn't just that season. We'd been together from the under 18. So my under 18s, Michael's 2 years younger than me. So England, we'd played together from then. So we just struck a partnership from a trial game or whatever it was with the national team, and it just grew from there. So by the time I'd got to Liverpool, I'd played with Michael 4 years already. Yeah. So, and we were polar opposite, so it just worked, and it just grew from there. And yeah, it was just wonderful to play with someone so good.
What was he like as a manager for you?
Great manager, great teacher, great mentor, great everything. The sort of manager that you kind of want, because he was a manager that would shelter you from anything, media attention, player attention. Really get to know you as a player, as a person, and get to know your family. So know all your kids' names, your kids' birthdays. So the little things that mean a lot to you as a person, he'd understand that. So yeah, he was fantastic. He understood us as young adults, and obviously me coming from Leicester, even though it's just down the road, it could be miles away. But it was foreign to me just being away from home. But he made sure I felt wanted. He made sure I was okay. He was brilliant.
So what is your lasting memory of that season? I mean,
Well, the Everton game stands out with Macca's Gary Mac's final goal. Having watched it back so many times now, you pick up on little things, and it's just like, it was intriguing. So if you look at his goal, just before his goal, about 5 minutes before his goal, he's put a cross in from the similar sort of position, and he's obviously seen. I think Sami Hyypiä had the header, and then Gerard made the save. But then, as he's come up for the goal, for the time when he's scored the goal, he's seen Gerard taking a step, and that's when we were actually going to come a bit further into the goal. He said, "No, stay out," because he's thinking, the goalkeeper's thinking he's going to go and hang it up so he can come and collect it. So he's told him stay out. So he's even coming out even further out his goal, and he just whips it in. But it's only Macca who could see that. I wouldn't have even thought of that. He was just such a great game as well.